Dark. I'm trying to understand your sign language, but I can't quite understand. To the left? Okay. Yeah, sure. Okay. Well, hello and welcome back to my channel. My name is Andrea. If you haven't already subscribed, please think about subscribing. Today's video, we're going to be talking about Kevin Samuels, or should we say the late Kevin Samuels. Well, let me just say that I have never, ever watched one of his videos. However, I have watched other YouTubers with inserts, actual clips of him talking about what his channel is about, and that's pretty much putting black women down. I actually never watch or subscribe to Kevin Samuels' channel, because what Kevin Samuel does is he take black women and exploit them for his own benefits. What Kevin Samuel do to black women is that he break women down so they could lose self-confidence in their own self. There is no way that I could have subscribed to someone that main goal, main focus, main intention was to break down black women, to exploit them for his own benefits. Kevin Samuels talk about high value men, something Kevin Samuels was not. Kevin Samuels pushes the narrative of high value men on women when he himself was not. And when you think about it, what is a high value man? What Kevin Samuels does is when he pushes narrative on women, subconsciously as a woman, you may be in a relationship where the guy is not too bad for you, where the guy is actually doing the best that he can, when the guy is actually a high value man, but not in a Kevin Samuels kind of way. And then in turn, you subconsciously treat your man bad because you're thinking, well, he's not doing as much as he should be doing or could be doing, or he's not meeting up to this criteria, he's not meeting up to that standard. So let me give you a quick example. There was a guy that I know that he bought a brand new Escalade the year before it actually came out. And those cars are 100. Actually, he paid, in fact, I think $96,000. While his girlfriend was driving a 20-year-old car that was breaking down every 2 days. Now, in society or Kevin Samuels' eyes, that guy we considered high value. But to a woman, is that really what you want? Is that what high value men is supposed to represent? The answer is no. So this is simply why I could not watch, could not subscribe to someone like Kevin Samuels. Kevin Samuels have over 1.4 million subscribers. 75% of those subscribers, which means over 800,000 of those subscribers, were black women. Let me repeat, based on what Kevin Samuels' message was, Kevin Samuels had 1.4 million subscribers. 75%, which means over 800% of those subscribers were black women. The rest were mainly black men. And the only conclusion that I could come to as far as women subscribing to Kevin Samuels is that your self-worth is so low that you need validation from someone that breaks you down and break your confidence down so low, or perhaps hateful, jealous women live through Kevin Samuels, right? Because at the end of the day, we've seen on social media how many hate messages have been going out to women that you have no idea who they are or how they're living. But because it is so, we're in a society where we're so hidden behind walls, we're in the dark, that is so easy to send out hate messages to someone that you know, because in fact, you are pretty much like a coward. You're hiding behind a door, and it's easy to send a voice out to someone that you don't know, a hateful voice. Hateful, jealous men live through Kevin Samuels. Hateful and worthless men that co-sign to Kevin Samuels are living vicariously through Kevin Samuels. Because at the end of the day, when Kevin Samuels is preaching all these hateable black women, and you co-sign to such a message, it simply means that you're hateful and have some type of envy, or some type of, you're living vicariously through Kevin Samuels. Rather than, because no high value man, I can guarantee you, no high value man has even knew Kevin Samuels or the late Kevin Samuels exists. At the end of the day, how do you listen to someone? How do you listen to someone like Kevin Samuels, that Kevin Samuels is not only is Kevin Samuels not married, but Kevin Samuels is not in a committed relationship. In fact, we get into later on in the video at the end how he died. Would you listen to someone for financial advice such as Warren Buffett? or would you listen to someone on the street that is struggling with 2 cents to his name? Like, at the end of the day, who would you listen to? So at the end of the day, why would you listen to someone that literally break down the confidence of women, pushes narrative that does not exist, pushes narrative that he is not? Because at the end of the day, what is a high value man? Something that Kevin Samuels is not. And Kevin Samuels keep pushing about 6-figure men, but in fact, Kevin Samuels only started making 6-figure perhaps a year ago. His salary was upwards of $3 million, and this was due to his platform on YouTube. This was due to that 75% of black women that he demeans, that give this man a platform to be making the money that he's making, to keep throwing blows at black women. Kevin Samuels talk about black women extension and lashes, when in fact black women are not. Black women are not the only women that wear extension and lashes, but all he does is focus on black women. And the thing is that when you don't have consequence for your action, then you will continue doing what you're doing. Like Kevin Samuels. For example, there is no other race that Kevin Samuels would have keep doing these. There's no other race that Kevin Samuels would have a platform to keep demeaning these women and still be on YouTube. There's no other, not the white race, not the Chinese, because there'll be consequence, but because for some reason black women co-sign to this man, because it's so easy. It is so easy for you to sit back when you have nothing else going on in your life, to sit back and listen to someone criticizing and demeaning someone, because it's almost like you're cheering. Oh yeah, that person's, it's almost like you think the person's going to come down to your level, have nothing, be of nothing. What is the point of you having money? What is the point of you having wealth when you don't have someone to share it with, or someone that will share, someone to share it with? What is the point of you having wealth when in fact you're in a home by yourself, you're lonely, which is exactly how Kevin Samuels died. Kevin Samuels pushes this narrative of pretty much, and he pretty much categorized basically all women. Because at the end of the day, how do I say this without putting women down, or putting the women down that was on his show? At the end of the day, I don't see any high value women on Kevin Samuels' show. There's no way that a woman with self-confidence, any type of self-worth, or any type of high value would be listening and taking advice on Kevin Samuels. Everyone that I've seen so far that has been interviewed by Kevin Samuels, they're kind of the same category. Because I can't imagine anyone, like I said, with self-worth, or someone that is intelligent, someone that is educated, would even go to Kevin Samuels and allow him to do and say the things and you just accept it. First of all, why would anyone go to Kevin Samuels for advice in no training? When you tell a woman that she's nothing but a 3 or a 4, who determines who determines that? Who? And who is Kevin Samuels? And the thing is that you have to, the laws of attraction is very, very, it's vital to your success emotionally, mentally, physically. If you're thinking out there that you're a 5, you're a 3, you're worthless, words are powerful, and words turn into action. You will react in that way that you'll become a 3 and a 5. You can't, if you want a high value man, by the way, that has to be something that you determine yourself, what a high value man. Don't look at John Doe or Jane Doe down the street and thinking that, because all you can see is from the surface what her man is. All you can see is from the surface what her man is. Don't look at that person and say, yes, I want a high value man like that, because you don't know what is below the surface. I just gave that example about the guy that had bought almost $100,000 car while his girlfriend was driving a 20-year-old beat up car. And to the outside surface, you think that, yep, he's high value, but in fact, he's not. So you have to, the most important thing that you need to have in a relationship is love, respect. Love, likeness, and respect. Those 3 things. Someone have to both love you and like you, because when you like someone, then some things are just automatic. You could love someone and not like someone. So for example, if that guy had respected, love, and like his girlfriend, it would have dawned on him that, let me just get her a car or help her get a car. That way when she's driving, maybe coming home at 12 o'clock at night, she won't be broken down on the street, something could happen to her. But no, he was just being too selfish, just thinking about himself, just thinking about how society would view him and how he wants to present himself to society. So he was just thinking about himself. So again, to Kevin Samuels, he's making six-figure, or it appears. Kevin Samuels has said that's a high-value woman, that's a high-value man, but in fact, he is not a high-value man. What Kevin Samuels to me is classified as is a coward, right? Because based on who he interviews, all these women, they just all fit the same profile. Based on Kevin Samuels does not have a platform, or does not have a platform that he bring women on that will challenge him. Women that are educated, women with emotional intelligence, women with intelligence, women that are knowledgeable. He doesn't bring any one of these women on his platform because that would be too much challenge of someone that is a coward, which is what he's classified as. Now, for someone that was given that advice, you think Kevin Samuels would be married. You think he'd be in a relationship that is long-term. In fact, when Kevin Samuel died, supposedly, he picked up someone off the street. He died in that woman's arm, and as soon as she called 911, that woman split. Now, for someone that is preaching that message about high-value men and women are worthless and women are this, I think I'd rather live in the ghetto in a one room with someone that I know will be there for me, that I have love, and that person is giving me love and I'm getting love for that person, and to die in the arms of someone that is loving, caring, and not alone, rather than die the way that Kevin Samuels supposedly died. Kevin Samuels died alone in his house. And if you're a high-value man, you picked up someone off the street the night before and take that person home. Shouldn't you already be in a relationship? Or if you're a high-value man, that is not the action of a high-value man. No high-value man would pick someone off the street and take them home that very night. A high-value man would know to respect a woman. You invite the woman out, you actually court the woman, you invite the woman out a day, 2, 3 days, a week later for dinner, and then you slowly get to know the woman before you take the woman home for supposedly sex. Kevin Samuels supposedly died in his house with a woman that he picked up from the street the night before. But yet, this is someone that is preaching high value. This is someone that black women are listening to. This is someone that demeans, put down black women. This is someone that breaks black women down so they could lose their confidence, so they could in turn validate the message, the false message that Kevin Samuels is sending about them. Kevin Samuels have zero success with relationships. Zero. He supposedly claimed, which his message keeps going back and forth, he was married to a black woman, then he was married to an Asian woman. Who knows if he was even married at all? But how can you listen to someone that have zero success at relationship? Kevin Samuels have zero success at relationship because again, this man was single. This man was alone. This man was not even having sex from someone on a regular basis that he knows. He literally had to pick up a stranger off the street to have sex, and God knows how many nights he has been doing it. But yet he was preaching high value men. So I just go to Google. My glass is probably foggy, excuse me. I just go to Google and I'm Googling as I'm talking to you. I'm Googling as I'm talking to you the definition of a high value man. And it says, my nails, I'm trying to hide my nails because I did them 3 days ago, but they're like chipping, so I forgot to take them off, but it is what it is. So I just Googled what a high value man is, and it says, he adds more value than he acts. Actually, excuse me, he adds more value than he takes. He is non-needy and non-approval seeking. He has a life goals and works towards them. He never chases, he attracts. He is assertive and non-aggressive. He is emotionally intelligent. Kevin is not assertive. Kevin is far, let me repeat, Kevin Samuels is far from emotional intelligence. He neither have emotional intelligence, no intelligence whatsoever, zero. It says the term high value man as is commonly used today refer to a man of means and influence. The standard alone definition isn't problematic or new. Society has always valued wealthy men. Now, it also says that a high value man have high self-esteem. If you have high self-esteem, you don't need to put someone down for your self-esteem to be of valued or for your self-esteem to go up, because you'll be so confident in yourself that you won't look to someone to value you or validate you. When you put someone down, that's pretty much you looking to that person to validate you, because when that person is down, you're thinking that you're going to rise. Kevin Samuels was not that person. It says the person knows power dynamics. He is also honest to his own value system. Kevin Samuels was never honest to his own value system, because if Kevin Samuels was honest to his own value system, there was no need for you to put women down, demeans them, break them down for your own self-worth, for your not only just your own self-worth, but for money. Because the more he breaks women down, the more women listen, the more worthless men listen, and my hand's trying to hide my nails. The more worthless women listen, and the more subscribers, views he'll get, and the more clicks, likes, and the more money Kevin Samuels will get. Kevin Samuels literally break women down, take away their self-worth. It says high value men generate self-esteem, something Kevin Samuels did not. Preaches that message. That message have not come across to himself or the men that listen to his message. The worthless men that listen to his message. So again, ladies, if you're gonna listen to someone's message, it's kind of like you having a dentist teaches how to perform heart surgery. Like both doctors, but one is not specialized in that field and one knows nothing about that field. So if you're gonna look to someone for value, if you're gonna look to someone for valuable message, make sure that is someone that is actually giving you a valuable message. Because at the end of the day, Kevin Samuels was not giving valuable message to women. Again, what he does is break women down self-worth for his own value. He pushes narrative that does not even exist. The narrative that he was pushing on these women about high value men, when in fact he not only was he not a high value man, but Kevin Samuels have no idea what a high value man is, because number one, you weren't preaching that message, you weren't saying that message, and you did not play, act, and you were not the part to be talking about or preaching about high value men. I remember this one lady came on his show that I was watching, and I think he told her, oh my God, he rates her very low score. I want to say maybe a 5 or a 6. Now she came on and she said she wanted a man of certain status. It was not impossible. It was not out of her reach. She had her own business. I'm not sure what type of, I don't remember what business it was. I remember she said it, but I don't remember. And she was not dependent on any man. She had a child, I believe. She had a child and she was raising the child on her own. And this idiot did not even validate the fact that this woman was independent, was not dependent on a man. She wanted someone that fits her status, but he breaks her down, telling her she could not get. He did not give that woman any type of credit for being independent, for wanting not someone that is a Tyrone that has nothing to give to the relationship, wanting someone that is not a Tyrone that will give something to the relationship. He gives this woman no credit for being independent. He gives her no credit for where she is in life. All he was focusing on was her physical looks, which she was not bad looking, and telling her she was nothing but a whatever low number he rates her, and pretty much tell her she could not get that a high value woman. So am I sad Kevin Samuels or the late Kevin Samuels is gone? Well, let's just say I'm not shedding a tear, because when you have if you have a bunch of, let's say, apples, and you have one rotted apples in the mix, then it's gonna rot the whole other apples in that bag or whatever. And what Kevin Samuels does was to corrupt black women, influence black men, weak black men, and because of that, it adds more of the bad narrative that society focus on black women. And like I said, he never had anyone on his show that was of some type of intelligence or education or with any type of self-confidence that could challenge him. He had the same type of woman on his show, the one that he could break down, the one that he could push his narrative on, the one that could be influenced by the garbage that comes out of his mouth. When you're talking about high value men, of course we all want a high value man, but everything in life is subjective. What is good for that person may not good for you, and you have to validate what a high value is. Do you want someone, for example, I gave that example about the guy that bought the $100,000 car while his girlfriend was driving a $20,000 car. Do you want someone that is high value on the surface, or you want someone that is high value that treats you like a high value? So you have to determine what you want and stop listening to messages that does not come across with any type of positivity for you, because again, words are powerful. Laws of attraction is very much real. I will see you in my next video.